What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another episode of the Shop Podcast coming to you guys live every single Saturday. Appreciate the love and support every single week here on the podcast, man. We got a great guest this week. He has been on the show before, but it's been a little while. But we always enjoy you guys. Appreciate the, like I said, the support every single week. Has been a big week, man. And I actually had to stay off the radar for a couple of days, man, just to let things die down. We got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. I'm sure you guys ready to dive in. But let's go ahead and go around the panel. Let's start with our guest of the show, man. Appreciate you coming on, Wilmy. Thank you for taking a little time out here to hang out with us today, man. Let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on, brother.
I am playing. I don't know. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. I've been playing it for 14 straight hours today, so my brain is mud at this point. But man, that's really about it, because I'm really trying to finish this one up because Destroy All Humans is tomorrow. So I really want to play that one. I don't know, man. My backlog is not getting any smaller for some odd reason. And I just keep trying to finish games, and by that time I hop on Steam and then there's more games on sale. And I'm like, oh, look, shiny. And then I buy more games, and I think I'm up to like 600 now in my backlog, and I've got to stop something at some point.
Yeah, I would say that's a bit excessive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with us, man. It's been a little while since you've been on the show, but you have been on here before. But man, shout out to everybody at Gaming Beyond the Box has a podcast, man. Check that all out. All of his information is in the description below. Appreciate the support from you guys, man. Let's keep it moving. So next, man, Stag, man. It's been a couple weeks. Stag, with your back here, man. I know you was terrorizing the chat last.
It hasn't been long enough, I think.
Come on, man. No, 2 weeks is too long, brother. It felt like 2 months. Come on now, Stag. But either way, you're back live, man. Appreciate you being here today, man. Let everybody know what's going on with you, man.
This is a pre-recorded message. Oh, man. Shit. Dude, just like Wilmy, I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Fuck it. Ghost of Sushi, because I can't say it.
Tsushima.
I've been playing that a lot. I'm not even like trying to do main missions. I'm just like, hey, all these things over here. And man, don't even like try and stop with the backlog, dude. You don't even want to know how many games that I have pre-ordered on Amazon right now that aren't coming out till like I have like I think 2 or 3 games physical showing up until the Series X comes out, and I'm not even contemplating like what I'm gonna buy when that comes out. So man, I've made a content switch on Twitch lately. I'm doing less indies. I'm still streaming a ton, but I still do the indies. I'm just doing more new releases and some multiplayer stuff, having some fun instead of just beating my head against the wall on the indie titles, because it's been fun and it's been great, but no one cares but me. That's the reality. I mean, there's some people out there that care about indies, but I've reached the goals that I wanted to there, so now I've set some new goals for myself, which kind of just required a content switch. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, man. I'm healing up pretty good and ready to do the show. So thanks for having me back, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Let's get it. Glad to see you back. Glad to hear that you're healing up, man. Once again, he did make a content switch, so go check him out on Twitch over there. All that information is in the link in the description below. Let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion. Let everybody know what's going on with you. They can find you at, brother. How's everything been this week?
Oh, it's been pretty good. My God, freaking how much more exciting can this week get? We had an Xbox show, and now here it is Saturday night, and we're all able to chat about it and kind of give our opinions. God, I've been playing games though all over the place. I'm ADHD, so I can't stay centered. I'm playing like 5 games at once, and for some reason, the only game I can't stop thinking about is wanting to play Destroy All Humans.
Nice.
Like that game, I played the demo. I am ready to play that game as soon as it comes out.
Awesome.
But other than that, just working all the time and kind of creating videos when I can.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here, man. Every week, man, you add something new to the show, man. We appreciate you being here. Last but not least, Mr. Smooth Voice, Fuzzy Belvedere, Barry Ross, whatever you want to call him. How you been, brother? I know you got something cooking up. I don't know if you're quite ready to share that with the world, but man, we appreciate you here every single week as well, Fuzz. Let everybody know what's going on with you.
I released my first video as far as like the production stuff on PlayStation, but I'm going to do like a quick comparo between the Xbox show and the PlayStation show just to kind of give my 2 cents about it. But been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima as well. I love hack and slash games, so chopping people up is pretty fun. Been playing a few of the demos that they had, the demos of the week and stuff. Was it Mayhem Brawler, which is kind of like a Streets of Rage deal, and a few other ones that were nice in there. But man, been an exciting week, so ready to talk about it. Let's go.
Let's dive in. Once again, everybody here, appreciate you guys' support. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. Retweet the link on Twitter. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live today. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So as you guys know, we always start with the poll of the week, something I do every single Monday on Twitter. If you're not following me there, follow me on Twitter. All that information is in the link in the description below. So the poll of the week this week was actually obviously directed about the Xbox event. So the Xbox event is a few days away, so I wanted to know which game is most likely to have a steal the show moment and why. Now it's kind of odd asking this question because we've seen the event, but at the time when I put out the poll, Fable 4 or just Fable 57%, the Initiative's new IP 27%, Everwild 5%, Hellblade 2 11%. So based on if you voted prior to. Obviously, we know what happened on the show, but I want to just see where everybody's opinion was at, or who had a steal the show moment in your opinion. So we're going to start with you, Wilmy. Just after watching the show, who would fit that category as that kind of not necessarily stole the show, but it was something that maybe you didn't see coming?
Avowed.
Okay.
I mean, it took me by surprise. It really did. And I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. I thought it was even funnier after the show that PlayStation people were asking when this game was coming to PlayStation. But this game blew me away, man. I'm waiting for this game with massive anticipation. I want this game, and I wanted it like Thursday.
Got it. Okay. All right. Avowed was one we didn't see coming out. Some of us predicted it. Shout out to you, Fuzz. I know you talked about Obsidian's RP. They're definitely going to show it. We'll get into that, but I know that's something you talked about way prior to the show. So Avowed was a really good one. Obviously, I didn't see that coming. We didn't know what they were going to show. So that was something. It was a quick teaser, but it definitely looked amazing. Very Elder Scrolls-ish kind of, but probably better. I'm probably Bethesda has not been on my good side this generation, but we'll go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Stag. Just get your opinion. Was there any moments, still the show moments, kind of for you during the Xbox event?
Well, I think waiting for the greatest game of the year was the best part of the show when Grounded said, you're gonna have to wait for Cyberpunk. That honestly, that was the show was great, but that was probably the best moment. Just joke wise, I was like, oh my god, they just totally shit on themselves. I love it because that's kind of the self-deprecating humor I love. So no, for me, it's easy to say Halo, but I mean, I'm always gonna love Halo, obviously. But oddly enough, even though I've made a content switch, Balan Wonderworld really struck my interest just because it's different and the story looked really curious. I want to see more about that. Just the whole it's obviously a 3D platformer, but the adding in the musical kind of aspect to it, I was like, well, this is really super interesting and different, and
Nintendo vibes.
I really like different. I like different things.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like indies just because I'm not going to be headlining them as much as on my streams. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing them. It's just for me that stuck out as something. It was just okay, well, and the whole show really hit on it hit everything. You know what I mean? I know we're going to get into that later, but that one really kind of just stuck out at me as something that was different and unexpected, So, and Everwild, obviously. I want to know. I really want to know more.
Did you get to see it in 4K?
No, I didn't. I watched it once. I'm not going back. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I get it.
I'm not one of those guys that watches movies over and over again either. So, Everwild and Tell Me Why are two, a few, and the other one are Avowed doesn't do anything for me personally. I've never been a Skyrim RPG fucking sword guy. So I mean, you give me some Mass Effect, I'm in. But yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Okay, all right. I guess you know what? I'll go ahead and shoot my shot then. So I'm gonna go out on the limb. Obviously, you got the big ones. Obviously, the Halos, the Fable thing. We didn't see any gameplay from that, but I think for me, which actually was a real big pleasant surprise, Balan Wonderland. That was one. I think Medium looked great. I think Medium looked amazing. The whole concept, and then I actually went behind it. I actually went back and watched the 4K, little trailer they put out. It looked even better. I mean, the concept, it looks like a AAA game. I don't know how big Bloober is, but that was Silent Hill vibes. I know the guy who did the music for Silent Hill did that as well. Definitely gave me Silent Hill vibes. It was just a well put together game. It looks fun. It looks challenging. Looks scary as hell. I had no idea what's going on, and that's not really even my genre of game. I don't really play like scary games all that much, but that looked like it was going to be something that was challenging. The dual worlds and how to go back and forth between the two looked interesting. So I think for me, Medium, Medium probably was the biggest one for me. Outside of the ones that I was expecting. The Val looked great as well. So let's go and throw this over to you, Centurion. Did you have a stole the show moment, brother?
Stole the show moment.
Yeah, like there's something that stuck out.
The one thing that stuck out for me automatically was State of Decay 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've played the first one. I've played the second one. I even own the game physically. The second one, I don't rely on Game Pass for it. But yeah, I mean, and also just from the quality of the trailer, I would have to agree with a couple other people whose content I watch. It looks like they're aiming for a more AAA style game for State of Decay 3. Like it looks like at this time they want to definitely hit it out of the park, and we all know that Undead Labs opened up, I believe, a new studio in New Orleans. Am I wrong?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to.
I know they opened up.
They did.
Yeah, so we all know that Undead Labs has definitely expanded. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can crank out, and it looks like Undead Labs is going to definitely be one of those studios where the zombie genre lives on.
Yeah, and the funny thing is when it first started, it looked like a new IP. I thought it was.
Oh yeah, you didn't know what it was, and
yeah.
Even the minute you saw the dead deer, you still were like, "Oh, it's another zombie game," and all of a sudden it's like State of Decay 3, and it's like, "Oh, it's not just another zombie game; it's actually one of the most well done zombie games." I mean, if you ever thought there should be a zombie mode to Grand Theft Auto, State of Decay is about the closest you're going to come.
Yeah.
And the fact that animals now will become infected too.
That's great.
Dude, that's good. And the thing is, that's going to add an element to the game all itself. I really hope that, man, I don't know what I would do to see a State of Decay in a very full environment with trees, plants. We all saw on that Halo trailer the animals and stuff running out of the bushes as he was moving around. So it'd be really interesting to see a living, breathing world in State of Decay just to go out and explore.
Well, we talked about it. We talked about if they get a big budget, if Xbox says here, you got a good foundation, but we want to build on that and make this game as good as it could possibly be, what that would look like. So it kind of, that trailer, I mean, it doesn't show much, but it kind of looks like they've definitely expanded the world. Looks like there may be an actual like storyline as well to follow along with, maybe even a main character. Now, obviously that's speculation, but we will definitely see coming up. But that was a good one too. You're right. I actually forgot about State of Decay 3, but that was a big surprise as well. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz. Get your opinion. Do you have a, not left field, but a, big moment, stole the moment kind of show for you?
I mean, what I was expecting before the show was that we would see hopefully something from the initiative. No big deal. We'll see that at a later time. But
can't pull your pants down all the way at once, dude. Come on, man.
What did you just say?
No, but when it comes to like a stole the moment show, I definitely agree. State of Decay 3 kind of surprised me because I was expecting Obsidian to have something. I didn't know it was going to be called Avowed. I thought it was going to be the original title Stormlands, but man, that was great to see that was in the show, and I kind of figured that was going to be like the end of the store or end of the show. I figured that may have trumped Fable, but it looks like Fable's going to be the the end of the show type of deal. But State of Decay 3, didn't know what it was, like everybody said, until you saw the logo. It's like, oh, this is totally different, and yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one. That looks like what everybody was hoping 2 was going to be. That's what I'm taking 3 is going to be, with a lot more,
Well, hold on a second. Like, how can you guys even like tell what it's going to be based off a CGI trailer?
True.
To be fair, I mean, like, could be exactly the same as the last one with just some cooler shit. Like
no,
zombie animals. I'm just saying.
I'm figuring the zombie animals are going to
As
be
a
adding a
fucking
big
negative
thing to it.
Nancy that doesn't give a shit about the game. I'm just saying, like, you guys are just hyping it, and you only saw a CGI trailer. So,
well, let me just put in. We all know the PS5 is going to be more capable than the Xbox Series X purely because of the trailer from the the Spider-Man Morales trailer thing.
well, I mean,
Shots fired.
we've all seen the Spider-Man game.
No,
so,
dude, I know it's
mean,
just a CG trailer.
Yeah, this is just.
No.
We just
Let's just put it this way:
titles are amazing.
to create that CG trailer probably was not cheap. So it looks like it's really nice to see that at least a studio that went from an arcade, a game that was on the Xbox 360 arcade, so a game to go from that to where it is now, and they have expanded their studio. We can obviously see they're passionate about this whole franchise, and I'm not talking about Microsoft, I'm talking about Undead Labs, and they now have a budget that they can kind of do some things with, and it's really great to see that they took some of that budget and actually made a really nice, clean looking trailer.
Well, I'm basing my overall appearance or look based on that CGI trailer, based on their State of Decay 2 trailer. Like a lot of that, except for like the solar flare thing, well, not solar flare, but the flare for like when your multiplayer character logs into somebody else's world, that really, coming out to the full game. But that trailer was pretty close to what the game looked like. Maybe it was a little bit more cleaned up on the trailer versus the initial launch, but the definitive edition now looks pretty close to what that State of Decay 2 trailer looks like. So if we can get close to what the State of Decay 3 CGI trailer looks like in the game, I'll be more than happy. But I didn't even think that they were even going to be that close on a State of Decay 3. I figured since they just released the definitive edition, it was like maybe another couple of years.
State of Decay 3 existed somewhere on some chalkboard. I never assumed it would be like in existence.
Yeah, I don't think any of us predicted that at all. We didn't think that they, obviously they were going to show some things from the studio, but we didn't know exactly. But yeah, this is a. Go ahead. Go my bad one.
I didn't expect to see Stalker 2 either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, that was another game that I didn't expect. I don't know much about it, but obviously we'll see more as time goes by. But that was a good startup topic. Once again, guys, that's all speculative. Let us know in the comment section. What do you guys think as well? What was your stole the show moment, if you even had one? Let us know in the comment section, everybody. Appreciate everybody watching right now. Once again, retweet the link. Let everybody know the Shop Podcast is live. Come hang out with us. Come talk games with us and just chill. So let's move on to the next topic. So as you guys know, if you haven't been living under a rock, the Xbox event was this week. So we're going to dive into that.
What?
All right. Going to dive into that. We're going to spend most of the show actually talking about that. We got one more topic after this, but that won't be till way later on in the show because I assume we got a lot to say. But the Xbox event happened. Game showcase, just want to get everybody's reactions. Essentially, we've kind of let it marinate. It's been a couple days. Things have kind of sat. Some other information's come out. So just want to see where everybody's at, opposed to when the event happens. So Wilmer, we'll start with you, brother, since you're the guest. After kind of letting things sit, kind of digest, where you at, man? What do you think? What do you think of the overall show?
I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
There's a lot of games on there. It was just a diverse lineup of games. You had a little bit of everything for everybody. Primarily, it was a Game Pass show because every title there, they've already said is going to be in Game Pass, so it doesn't cost you anything to try them out anyway. But, there was a lot of different genres shown. I think it was like 22, 23 games in total. So, I was really impressed with a lot of the games. And that one game at the beginning, oh, God, what was it called with the looked like a mech type game.
Exo Mecha or something.
Yeah,
like
Exo Mecha.
Even that looked good. You had your shooters, you had your RPGs, you had a little bit of everything for everybody. I get Stalker 2. I'm thrilled about that one. I get the Medium. I can't tell you how excited I am for that game. There's just a lot of games in there that I intend to play. Probably almost all of them. Maybe one or two I won't. But I was really excited. I think this was the most diverse show they've had. Oh, God, like ever.
I'd agree with that.
The CGI trailer thing, it doesn't bother me that much because I get it. A lot of these guys, man, are working from home. They're working on, software they aren't that familiar with yet. So I get the point. So it just doesn't, but the Fable trailer, I was really excited for that one. I'm a huge Fable fan, so I was really, stoked for that one as well. Forza looked really good, what they showed, which was a trailer, but I'm not too much into racing games. Sorry, Fuzzy. But I suck at them. I'm not going to lie, man. Give me a shooter, give me an RPG or something. I'm great. You put me on a racing game, I suck. So, but for the most part, I really enjoyed the show. Like I said, man, I stick with my 9 out of 10 on it.
Okay, I like it. I mean, once again, ultimately, this is all just personal opinion, everybody. I think things seem to work out better when we think that way. But let's go ahead and keep going around the panel. We'll go ahead and go with you, Stag. I know Stag was with us watching the event live. So just after kind of letting it marinate, Stag, not sure how much you actually thought about it, but where are you at as far as the show, man? Just thinking about everything they showed.
At least you didn't give me too much credit. I don't put too much thought into anything. So, man, I thought it was a really good show. I enjoyed it. We had a good time watching it live and commenting on things that happened. Echoing what Wilmy said, they really hit everything. I don't think there was a market or a gamer they didn't say, here, I have something for you. Yeah, I definitely was more of a Game Pass show, like Wilmy said. But they've made it clear they don't care if you buy a Series X. You know what I mean? Like that's not their business model moving forward. Their business model moving forward is play our shit wherever you want to play it, So I would have liked to have seen more gameplay. Obviously we always want to see more gameplay. I'm not disappointed in CGI trailers. I just like stirring the pot a little bit. But it's one of those things where, like, if you show, all right, so it's with both Sony and Xbox. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. More on the Xbox side. If you show too much CGI or if you show too much gameplay, you know what I mean? Like, if you show like gameplay like they did with Halo, people have been shitting on it all freaking week since the show, right? Oh, yeah. It's this far along and we're this close to the system launch and look at the brutes, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And why doesn't it look like next gen graphics? It's like, well, it's Halo, first of all, you dipshit. Like Halo's got a certain style, and that what's that game? Hold on, I'm pulling up the list. Tell me why. Like, sure, maybe they could have made it look like The Last of Us 2 level graphics, but I really like the art style. I feel like Xbox has got a way of like style for their games that are just like, it's more of an art form than it is like ultra gritty realistic, like Sony's got like, this is what we're going to do. This is how we want our games to look. And we want it to look super awesome. But I would have loved, I honestly think more people were expecting some kind of a game like that out of Xbox this time around, like a little bit more adult oriented, but we still have 6 studios we haven't heard anything from.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we have time. Like, obviously both companies are holding back right now. They wanted to like impress people. They wanted to show a lot of stuff, but we're going to get more. Like we already said, we haven't heard from the initiative yet, and I don't think they're working on Fable. So who did they say who's working on that?
Fable was Playground.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
Playground.
I honestly feel like the initiative is going to give us and the fans and all the naysayers that game that everybody wants Xbox to make that they haven't had before, like that's just going to showcase the power of the system.
I think so too.
Yeah, and I think they're holding that back, and they're going to keep holding it back, and then they're just going to drop it and shut everybody up.
Yeah,
and I think they've had a roadmap for what they're going to do, and I know I'm kind of going off topic here a little bit, but I guess I could just circle back and say I think the show was great. Next person, but no, and there was definitely some things they could have done better, but I feel the same way about the Sony show. Like I really enjoyed both shows.
Yeah.
And there was games that I want to play on both, but I'm a Halo guy, so I'm like, and I want to play it on the new system. Granted, I could play it on my X, but I want that a Series X in my house, and I really hope there's a goddamn Halo
Halo
Series X.
console?
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
They gotta
I'm
do it.
like,
They gotta do it.
they have to do
Gotta
it,
do
and
it.
they gotta make it. They gotta let Expo make it for fuck's sake.
Yeah, man. I've been lobbying for that forever, man.
I mean, I think everybody here wants Expo to be
Oh,
like
dude,
hired by
come on.
Microsoft, so it just makes too much good sense.
Yeah, shout out
Like
to
there's
Pope,
other
man.
there's other people doing the same kind of stuff, but honestly, I don't think anybody does it as good as him. So
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
not like trying to like suck up because it's just he does really good. I mean, he does the fan stuff. He does game different game consoles too. So it's just anyhow. But yeah, they definitely and they really want to get everybody. They don't want to just get a certain crowd. Like I really feel like one company is catering towards what they already have, and another one, Microsoft, is looking at, all right, how can we appeal to everyone? Which that's like a better business model in my opinion. So
I don't know. I
don't know. I mean,
yeah.
no. We're gonna sell to 20 people versus 100. I don't. I mean, I'm using low numbers, obviously, but
Got it.
no,
So-
it was what?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't cut you.
No, you fuck. I ain't got nothing else to say unless you got a question.
No. So ultimately, just to kind of put a bow tie on it, I 100% agree with you, Stag. The variety was there. Like the variety. This is one thing that I've noticed about Xbox. They hit every single thing. Now, obviously,
and one real
go
quick though, like obviously Hellblade is going to be high fidelity graphics.
that's
and
another
look
one.
amazing.
Yeah,
And if anybody has ever played any of the Warhammer games, like the Warhammer 40K base Legion games, the graphics on those games are usually really good. So
Yeah.
like,
even the Vermintide game that's in Game
that's
Pass.
what I'm just saying. Like those games, they didn't even show a lot. They just showed another CGI trailer. So I love those games. First of all, I just got the one that just came out and it's still shrink wrapped, but that's a personal backlog problem. But no, like they're gonna have the games that people are clamoring for, but they're still gonna do what they do. So.
Exactly. So I agree. Like I said, just to finish up and move this over to Centurion. But yeah, I agree, man. The variety was there. The quality was there. I know some people didn't pick about footage. Yeah, I wish there was more gameplay. That would have been nice to see. Obviously more gameplay, which means less games to show. They probably wouldn't have been able to fit as many games in as they did if they had more gameplay, which is fine.
But the Sony show didn't show much more gameplay.
They really did. I mean,
we all
Ratchet
know
and
that
Clank
Xbox is held to a higher ridiculous standard when it comes to these things. So
yeah, so I mean so one thing we got to stop doing, people, is we got to stop treating these companies like they're trying to be like each other. This is Nike, Adidas. They're not trying to be like each other. You know what I'm saying? This is completely different.
Just trying to make money.
Exactly. So take off if you went into the Xbox event saying they need to show me something like Sony, you went in with the wrong perspective. Because they're not Sony, and vice versa. Same thing. If you went in the Sony show saying, "Hey, they need to show me some Xbox kind of stuff," you went in with the wrong perspective. So that's really all we're saying at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion, just to get your opinion. I know you kind of caught the show a little bit later on. You didn't actually get a chance to watch it live, but watching it and maybe rewatching it again. Where you at on the show after sitting with it a couple days?
Well, I kind of told you guys how I feel. For me, the show was everything I expected it to be. There was a great lineup of diverse games. Some I was interested in, some I was not. But that's just the way it works. The whole show can't be just for you. There's people out there that enjoy games that to me, I would never probably play. I'm pretty sure Stagger plays a way more diverse of indie game. I mean, a diverse lineup of indie games than I do.
Just say games.
You just play in, right. You're also more into like, you could play some of the more 2D or like more of the
I'll
bit
play anything
style.
Almost. So yeah, but yeah, you're right.
You'll play some of the more bit style graphics. I have such a massive backlog as it is that I guess I just never get around to games like that. And I'll say that's a fault on my part. In no way am I ever above playing them. But anyways, back onto the show. I just don't like how people are kind of like, I don't like the perspective of that Microsoft is being held to a different standard. Microsoft is being Microsoft. Sony does what Sony wants to, just like you said. As a matter of fact, even GameIndustry.biz just came out with an article saying the console war is over, and it's an opinion piece. And the guy titled it saying Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo all want different things from the next generation. Is it really a war if everyone wins? And that's pretty much the way it looks. We're all winning here. You know, we're all winning here. There's plenty of games. I loved how the guys over at Obsidian took a dig at CD Projekt Red, a playful dig on, if you're looking for the game of the year, wait for Cyberpunk. Otherwise, here's Grounded. I mean, that made me laugh really hard when that came on. Wilmy Hood kind of already pointed out the one next game coming from Obsidian that looks absolutely awesome. Hey, this could be the title that completely kind of shifts the whole perspective away from Elder Scrolls to, Obsidian has done some very, very well put together RPGs. So this could steal that thunder. I liked what I saw coming from Microsoft. And the funny part is what I saw come from their event is stuff that I am used to seeing come from Microsoft. They are not PlayStation. Phil Spencer even came out and said that in the interview that he did, that he will never be like PlayStation. And if you expected him to become like PlayStation, it's never going to happen. They do their thing. Xbox does theirs. And that's why it's not really, to me, fanboying. It's the fact that I prefer the Xbox ecosystem because what they can provide to me as a gamer. And one of the biggest games I'm looking forward to right now is Grounded, because I'm going to be playing that with my wife probably here next week. So, I mean, yeah, PlayStation.
You're going to be playing that with Centurion's wife?
Whoa!
Hard to break the news on the show.
I mean, you did say same here. I mean,
hey, Wilma, I may need the house
my God.
after we're done.
So, what you're saying is Phil is not going to release a third-person, over-the-shoulder, post-apocalyptic setting with ranged weapons,
and lots of cutscenes.
I'm not saying he won't release that, but
2 hours of setting your controller down at the beginning of the game.
Oh, a playable movie.
Wait a minute. I feel like he just described State of Decay.
And don't get me
wrong.
I'm a sucker. I play all the games. I've played Uncharted. I've played Days Gone, Last of Us. But I mean,
we still make fun of them.
That's true.
I make fun of Xbox too.
You do?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Did I come off as like a PlayStation? Oh, hell no. I got a PS4 Pro. I enjoy playing the game.
It's a dusty Pro.
It does gather a lot of dust. I need to fire it up and play Last of Us 2.
Just fire it up so the fan can knock it off, okay? Actually, I gotta say, I was really impressed when I just got a PS4 Pro, and going from a Slim to the Pro is way quieter.
Yeah, mine is too.
Yeah.
I mean, all these games,
like, holy shit, it's not loud in here anymore.
It's just they all feel so familiar. So why do I want Xbox to make the same games? I don't want that.
I definitely don't.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting at. Like, I'll say it right now, PlayStation makes some really beautiful games. They make some very well put together games at times, but sadly, they kind of fill one need for me as a gamer, and that's a first or third person over the shoulder action kind of cinema style game
with a mode.
I know, and like I don't like using the term one and done because I know you can play them multiple times, but really, I mean, like, you have to be craving that experience again to kind of want to go back to it. Otherwise, you just kind of go back to what you were doing before you played that single player experience, because you all have your multiplayer games like that you play with your friends like on a regular basis that soaks up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
But onto the Halo thing, I just want to mention is everybody also seems to not grasp. They all see when they hear next gen, they think graphics. People need to back off of that and realize that graphics actually took back seat this coming gen. Yes, they are going to have improved graphics. Yes, they are going to have ray tracing. But they even said that right now, with the way things are with the 4K, just 4K in general, we're kind of hitting a plateau in resolution. That's why they're trying to hit stuff like frame rates. That's why they're trying to really clean up that image. What it's more is going to be like the AI involved. And for me, when I saw that Halo character walking around and you saw the grass and the environments, animals running through the grass and interacting with the environments, and then he shot one of the brutes in the knee. I remember back in the day, you could shoot someone in the foot on Nintendo 64 GoldenEye, and that dude would react like you just basically, shot him in the head. When he shot that brute in the knee, the brute actually lifted his leg up and actually looked like it hopped on one foot. Like it reacted to the wound that it just received as if it was shot in the leg. It wasn't just some predetermined animation of, oh, I got shot, I need to react. This was an actual, it almost seemed like reaction to the location of where it was shot. And that's the kind of stuff that they're going to be putting into these games. That's why we need to look past graphics and we need to see what they're building into the game to try to make it more of a realistic environment. Because what's the point of having these awesome graphics if the characters don't act right when you shoot them?
No. Okay. All right. So once again, like it's different for everybody. So we're not saying this is the only way to think about things, and there's a lot of other people out there who are on the other side of the fence, and that's completely okay if you were not happy with the show. Let us know. Let us know in the chat if you didn't like the show. Tell us about it. We can talk about it, whatever the case may be. But as long as it's a discussion, not an argument, I'm all okay with that. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you for just get your opinion. We all watched it together. Me, you, and Stag watched it live. Had some people here actually that are here now that were in the chat. So shout out to everybody that came out and actually watched the reaction to the event live with us. That was awesome. It was early as hell, but a lot of people actually came in and hung out with us. But go ahead, Fuzz. Where you at now with kind of letting it sit for a couple days?
I like Forza.
Forza.
Yeah. No, I think at the time of the show I said it was a 9, and I still think it's a 9. There were a lot of different games, and for all the trips that Phil made to Japan, there's a lot more games for people looking for JRPGs that weren't getting their fill on
it filled a lot of holes too.
Yeah, so that in itself is an accomplishment on their end. But as far as for what I was looking for out of the show and out of the Xbox system, being a fan of Xbox, Forza, yes, I wish they would have showed a little bit more. But from what I saw, as far as the ray tracing and I guess like the staging before you get to the track, kind of like what they did with the Motorsport 7, you just kind of have like your character standing in front of the car for the loading screen. Now it looks like you just click on like a poster and you can be at the track. Now that's a little bit of speculation, but I like some of the imagery that they put in that trailer, and hopefully that translates to the final product. Disappointed that it's not going to be a launch title, but hey, as long as they get that thing baked in and get everything firing the way it's supposed to, I'll be happy when it comes out. State of Decay 3 definitely looks like they're going to be taking a big step up in comparison to what they've been doing. A lot of people enjoyed State of Decay 2, but they were like, oh, the graphics look a little, Well, hopefully now that will be, resolved. And I think that CGI trailer is hinting to that, what people have been talking about, because I'm pretty sure the devs as well as the, Xbox team in general are listening. I think they're going to give us what we're asking for as far as a more high fidelity, graphically intense game, along with that core gameplay as far as, world building and whatnot. But they had so many different games that I've been looking forward to, or will be looking forward to, that didn't even know that were coming out, and the fact that they're going to be in Game Pass right now as a Game Pass subscriber. Considering if games do go up to $70 a pop, I mean, we got a pretty decent fill of games that we're going to be able to save money on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, once again, I usually like to buy like the deluxe edition of some of those games, so having the extra DLC and things like that will be, great. But for those that just want to at least try these games out, on top of the hundreds of titles, almost 200 plus titles that are in the past now, you definitely have a lot to look forward to between now and next generation's launch, and then for the year or so after that. Can't wait until Medium comes out. I was kind of expecting maybe they'll hint at this Xbox Studios thing, but whether it is or isn't, it doesn't really matter. As long as I get to play that game as soon as it comes out, I'm happy. And the additional behind the scenes stuff and some of the simultaneous different world stuff that they were showing. And I'm assuming you'll be kind of walking through a world and be able to switch it, or it might switch on its
It
own
looks crazy.
at any minute. That's that new or next generation level stuff where you're basically in two simultaneous worlds at the same time. And I can't wait to see how that pans out. Stalker 2 looked awesome. Didn't know what that was at first. I was like, oh, is that medium? No, it's not medium. It almost hints to what I wish PUBG or something like that looked like today.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was like some type of survival game of some sort, like you said, like a PUBG almost. Initially.
Yeah, but can't wait to see what that looks like when it comes out. And then another one that kind of gets glossed over, like Crossfire X. Yes, the beta was a little buggy.
That campaign looked pretty good.
Yes, it's like a Michael Bay movie.
Yes,
with gunplay.
I don't want to interrupt, but can I also just say something real quick that seems to be going under the radar and a lot of people are confused on?
What's that?
The single player campaign is not included on Game Pass.
Oh, well, I'll still wind up buying the game.
One of the dudes
it's accordingly priced.
One of the dudes at TXR reached out on Twitter to the developer, and they responded and they actually confirmed that yes, the single player experience is not going to be in Game Pass. You will have to buy it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's fine. And I
priced. I'm good.
Yeah, I think just looking at it overall, being like a Michael Bay movie with gunplay, that I'm there for that. But man, I still think overall it was a 9 for the fact that there was such a variety of games. You had 22 games shown within that time frame, and some of them in the pre-show. Yes, I was expecting there to be Outer Worlds DLC. I was expecting it to be in the pre-show, but hey, I got to see it, and I'll wind up picking that up when that launches as well. Gunk, which kind of reminds me of what is it? Something Savage Planet, or
it looks like
Journey to the
Savage Planet, but like a third person.
Third person, yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting. So that's another one I can't wait until it comes out, type of thing. So overall, I was happy with the variety of stuff I saw. As far as the nitpicking stuff, I mean, whether you look at the show while it was live or you go back and look at the 4K action stuff later, I still think a lot of that stuff was on par for what I was expecting for this coming generation. And a little disappointed that Hellblade 2 didn't have any additional gameplay, but hearing of the story of where it's going to be located and things like that, that's great. Maybe we'll see this in August as far as additional gameplay.
And I think I saw a tweet somebody saying they confirmed an event in August. I don't even know how true that is. So,
but they did confirm it's going to be Unreal Engine 5. So
yes, they did say that. Yeah,
definitely. From what we saw of Unreal Engine 5's demo, I can't wait to see how the level of detail goes in that game. I mean, just from the Video Game Awards trailer that they showed. I wanted that game from day one, so it's just only going to grow from there. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the show. Comparing it to like the PlayStation show, I think the weird thing is I didn't see as much from the PlayStation show of the first party titles, because for me, my PlayStation now is just basically PlayStation's exclusives primarily. And if it's going to be the weaker graphical box, I mean, sure, it can be the faster hard drive, whatever, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody else is aware of this as far as Ghost of Tsushima. If you need a fast SSD to load fast in the game, I don't know what magic they're doing on the Ghost of Tsushima, because you go from one end of the map to the other, and it's like 4 seconds. I've never seen any load times as fast as that, and that's on current gen. So if we can get that kind of stuff on these two next consoles next gen, I'll be happy. But just looking back at the PlayStation show, it's like, okay, I'm going to pick up Spider-Man. I'm going to pick up Horizon Zero Dawn. Definitely picking up Motorsport 8 or GT Gran Turismo 8.
Yeah.
Or no, GT7. Jeez, I'm mixing up numbers here. But yeah, I would say from the little bit I saw comparing GT7 versus Forza Motorsport, I think Motorsport's going to be the better of the two from at least a ray tracing aspect, because to be honest, GT7 didn't look that much different from GT Sport. So, but aside from that, happy with both shows, but really enthused with my primary console, Xbox's show, and can't wait until a lot of those games come out over the next year or two.
Yeah, and another thing we got to think about, and great breakdown. So it's a great breakdown. Another thing we got to think about too, there's more studios to show. Like you said, we didn't see anything from Hellblade. We got Compulsion, we got the Initiative. So there's still bullets in the chamber for both companies. I'm sure Sony has things waiting in the wings as well. It's funny because I see people they make that direct comparison, and we're naturally going to do that, because these are the two companies that are, Nintendo kind of does their own thing. We don't really throw them in the middle when it comes to this console war shit. But ultimately, if you're looking at one saying, hey, this one needs to be like the other, like I said before, you're looking at it from the wrong stance. If this is not a clear point in time where that tells you, look, these companies do fundamentally think different about the way they present games, the type of games their fan bases enjoy, there's a fundamental difference, and that's okay. That's completely fine. I saw Bacon. Shout out to Bacon. He's here every week. Appreciate you being here, brother. I know you said you wish they had more single-player, like narrative-driven games. We may still get those type of games. So I know Sony's known for those games. Those type of games seem to win awards, but to me, that doesn't define, personally, define a game that that's like a game of the year or something for me. It's a little bit more varied than that. But other than that, man, let's keep it moving. Unless anybody else had anything to say about the event? Anything else, or did we pretty much hit all the points we want to hit? Wilm, you got anything else to say, or
just be glad Sony and Xbox doesn't want to be like Nintendo.
We never get a price drop ever on anything. So no.
You're like $1 off a full price game. What are you talking about, dude? Every year, summer sale. Oh, like $59.99, $58.99.
Look, God of War 78 is coming out.
Too much, man. Too much.
I like the last God of War. It was really good. It was actually the first game in that series I've enjoyed.
So, I love
here
it too. But if they were doing like Nintendo, there would be a new one every year.
Yeah. True.
That's true. Get big facts. So let's go ahead and move on, man. We got one more topic here before we wrap the show up, man. You guys have been amazing. Shout out to everybody watching live. Once again, hit the link below. Subscribe. Appreciate you guys. All of our information is down below as well. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate you guys' support. So last thing is, where are we going from here, guys? So what will we see next? Event from Sony or Xbox? So what are we going to see down the line? Like we just kind of said, both are essentially supposed to have another event, whether it be August or later. They both stated that we have other things to show down the line. There's going to be more. Obviously, we're going to see more of what we've already seen, but there's going to be some new shit, from both sides. So just want to see. We'll start with you on this one, Wilmy. Where do you feel like, where does each company have to go from this point? Where do you feel like Sony's at? Where do you feel like Xbox is at? What would you, I'll say recommend, but where do you think some of the things that they need to do?
Well, I think Xbox is finally in the position they've been wanting to be in for a very long time, thanks to Phil Spencer, because he has turned this company completely around, the train of thought, everything. And they're being a lot more competitive. They're actually taking shots now that they didn't used to take, which I'm really shocked. But I think in August, even Aaron Greenberg has said there are more bullets in the chamber, like you said a minute ago.
Yeah.
There are more bullets in the chamber. So I think whatever Sony shows in August, that is when you will see Xbox come out with some of their other companies, with some of these other studios. And I also think, well, I'm not going to spread rumors, but I personally
go ahead and do that.
I have heard that WB may actually be a possible acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've all been kind of
so that's the through the grapevine thing. That would be huge for Microsoft. And there's still 6 or 9 studios left to show games from. And
are we assuming every single one is doing a new game?
Well, if you notice too, some of these companies, was it Obsidian that showed 2 or 3 different titles they're working on?
Yeah.
They have smaller groups inside these studios doing multiple projects.
Yeah.
So I think we're still going to see a lot more games in August from both companies. But personally, and I'm invested heavily in both of these companies, I mean, when the cable guy comes to my house, he walks in and goes, "Holy shit, dude! Do you play games here or what?"
No,
But-
just collect them for dust.
Yeah, and I hope to see something better from Sony. I think we will get the pricing and the pre-order sometime.
That's the only thing left. That's it. That's all. That's all we got left at this point.
And I think Xbox is going to kind of wait as long as they can, because Phil said they're not going to be outpriced. They're not going to be underpowered or overpriced. So I think that they're waiting to see what they're going to price this PS5 at. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, because Xbox, like I said, man, Phil's not playing. He's taken this company and done a complete 360 with it.
Okay.
So
Ooh, just hopefully it doesn't red ring on us.
I knew there was. I was waiting on the joke. I was waiting on the joke in the comments. Say somebody. I'm like, somebody gonna take that. But either way, great breakdown. Will, I once again, I agree with you in that way, shape, and form as well. As far as what Xbox has done, what Phil's done for the company, I think it just goes to show you the profits. Not that I get too much into anything like that, but he's turned the company around in more ways than one. He's gotten Satya on board, and everybody, as far as at the big boys table, they're all on board. They talk more games, I think, than any time I've seen any Xbox executive talk about their gaming division.
well, and Phil is a gamer.
Yeah, for sure.
And they've got their ear to the community. I mean, not Phil, but Major Nelson's on how many different podcasts Thursday?
Yeah, ton of.
He was on RDX. He did an interview with Boom. I mean, these guys are listening to the real community, not some of these fake YouTubers. They're chasing cloud and just trying to get you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we won't mention names, but they're not listening to these jokers, because they're going to hate on anything anyway. But they're listening to the real fans, the real gamers, and they know what everybody's been asking for. And I think they're finally in the position they're going to give it to everybody.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and throw this over to you. Stag, where you at, man? Just looking forward here, with potentially more events, from Sony and Xbox, and hell, maybe even Nintendo. Maybe we get an event from them at some point. So anything, you're looking forward to at the next events?
And we're gonna get more Labos out of Nintendo. That's what we're gonna get.
Oh God!
Honestly, my 10-year-old would fucking love it, dude. He loves those things. So,
sheesh.
no, Wilmy had nailed it on the head, dude. We're gonna get both companies are gonna reveal some more games. Obviously, they both have said they have more stuff to show. I wonder if Sony might reveal a little bit of that fucking new thing they patented that everyone's been making that like joke of the robot that's next to you on the couch.
Oh, wow.
Maybe we'll get a little information about that, or the hey, pay some money for him. And I think during the next Xbox show, I think obviously both consoles, they're getting to the point where they have to tell us the price and give us pre-order dates. I mean, it's Windows closing. It's almost August. Yeah. I mean, they're both talking holiday. They got to start taking pre-orders at some point.
Next Friday is the last day of this month.
Oh man, that means my birthday is even closer. Anyhow, I think Xbox is going to have a surprise guest in their next show, and EA is going to come out and show us the Anthem rework.
What?
There you go, Centurion. I nailed it.
You had to get it in.
All right, I was waiting for that one.
Still in the show at the next Xbox. I mean, you heard it here first, people. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to get this kind of prediction anywhere else. Right?
Oh my god!
Oh, just so everybody knows, there was an article that came out and said that the Anthem 2.0 update is nothing more than doodles.
Oh my god, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Those guys they're working hard.
That's all I got. I got nothing else.
All three of those guys at BioWare are working hard.
I'm gonna just say it's been great doing this podcast with you now, guys. I don't think I can do any better than that. I'm gonna go ahead and just retire.
Dude, the minute you just said the three guys at BioWare, I instantly thought, like, if you ever knew the story about the two creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all I see is like three dudes in a room just like, yo, man, what do you think of this? Oh, those pirates look awesome. Let's go with that.
Crazy. So let's go ahead. Just good segue. It's on you anyway, Centurion. Just as far as what you're planning on seeing at the next events, and what would you like to see? Just where you at going forward for both Sony and Xbox.
Going forward, I would like to see some finally prices revealed, pre-order dates, because you hit the nail right on the head. Like, the window is closing, that opportunity is sailing. I don't see how they could do it anywhere past August.
Yeah,
at least not comfortably.
Yeah, they I think they start to get too much feedback if it got too far, too close.
See, that's where the earlier you can do it, the more in a better position you're going to be, because you'll be able to see kind of like how many numbers you're going to do before launch, and you might be able to be like, oh, we can make more.
They are holding out. Both of them.
They're definitely putting themselves in a position where pretty much the units they have are the units they have. There's going to be no room to be like, hey, do you think you could squeeze out X amount of extra units? I really don't see how that's even possible. So definitely, maybe there is some room there for concern on maybe these companies don't have as many units as they would like, and so they're kind of like holding back on like waiting to the last minute. But at least from the next events, when it comes to games, I am looking forward to probably a deeper dive, at least into Halo and some of the technology that they wanted to use in this new game engine that they were talking about, because they said there's a lot of money in this game engine. I would like to kind of see that. Sony, on the other hand, I would like to see a couple more. Like, Sony does not have me completely sold yet. Regretfully for me, the only game that really seems like a possible launch title for me on the Sony side is Ratchet and Clank.
So to be fair,
like, I know I'm not going to count Spider-Man as one of those games that's like, oh my God, I got to get that. We all know the Spider-Man game is going to be a guaranteed slam dunk. That's why
the water looked good this time too.
Huh?
The puddles.
Oh
yeah, there'll be puddles.
Reflection.
No, Spider-Man, Lost Morales, or I forget the entire title.
Yeah.
There's a reason why PlayStation marooned that on the PlayStation 5, because they know it's going to be a slam dunk and people are going to want that game. And hey, they do what Sony does. They made sure that game was an exclusive to their next gen. But that's where I don't want to feed into that game, because we all know it's going to be a great game. I want something more. I like Ratchet and Clank is appealing to me, and I really haven't seen too much on the Sony side to make me feel like my investment is going to be kind of protected.
You're not hyped for Bug Snacks?
Stop. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want Bug Snacks, man? Come on,
man. Listen, listen.
See,
that thing gonna be in 4K. It's gonna be running at like 240 frames.
Right. Well, for me, if you want me to be a complete a-hole, to me, PlayStation has not convinced me that they have built a quality product.
And I am going to 100% agree with you, Centurion.
And thank you. To me, I'm not saying that because I'm an Xbox fan. I'm saying that I'm a consumer that's being asked to spend $500 on something that I'm not comfortable with, because it seems like it's going to have some issues potentially.
So to play devil's advocate here, I'm 100% sold on the PS5. So that's just me, because I just feel like, I mean, the PS4 was a great console. I didn't play it a whole lot, but I'm definitely like Ratchet and Clank. I think was the game of that entire event for me. That I think that stole the whole show, and that right there, along with some of the other titles they showed, sold me. But
now, if I could at least kind of second that, I don't see any issues from Sony's first-party studios with the PlayStation 5, because they know what they have and what they have to work with. But PlayStation has made a very complicated machine almost because of just how many variables exist inside that shell. And we all know from their track record, it's actually third-party games that I would be a little leery on, because we all remember Anthem was crashing PlayStations and they had to patch that. That was fixed through a patch. So it makes it more towards what are some of the crazy things that are going to happen, because some of these devs don't really truly understand just how flexible the PS5 can be in either direction when it comes to CPU or GPU.
But we'll see. That remains to be seen. Well, obviously the performance that comes later on once we get everything in our hands, or actually once these YouTubers they tend to get them early, do the breakdowns and things like that on them. So we'll go ahead and move forward from that. But let's throw this over to you, Fuzz. Get your opinion on this, man, before we wrap the show up here, man. So what's next for Sony? What's next for Xbox? What are you expecting going forward? Where you at on that?
Well, everybody's already touched on it. The pricing, that's a must. They both got to announce some sort of pricing. Pre-orders, obviously, because we want them and we need to know when we can at least put our money aside for them. Aside from that, I don't know. I think the big things are whatever they were holding back from their previous shows, with the Sony show and the Xbox show. I think we need to get at least, some inkling of what those are going to be. Is it going to be God of War 2, or is that going to be like the swan song for the PS5? Are we getting a Perfect Dark, or is it going to be something completely different, a completely new IP type of deal?
Alan Wake, that high-selling game that everybody keeps wanting.
Oh my god!
No. But that's about it. I mean, for the most part, the August shows, pricing, pre-orders. On the individual note, from Xbox, I just want to know when I can officially, other than like actually in September, but like what day in September xCloud is going to be fully live for me. I completely missed the what do you call them, the beta test, because I signed up for it and then changed from Android to Apple, gave my kids my Android phone and never checked the email to see that I was authorized to get it like the next day. But anyway, xCloud from Xbox, as far as on PlayStation's end, I want to hear from them as opposed to just speculation that my PS4 discs, because I only have a few of them, because to buy 2 get 1 free and things like that. I have a few of the discs on PlayStation. I want to make sure if I get the disc drive PS5 that I can put that PS4 disc in and it works, because otherwise I don't need the disc then, and I just need to go fully digital. But I know they've hinted at it that, there's backwards compatibility. I want to make sure it's not just digital backwards compatibility. I want to make sure physical discs, just like what Xbox did with the 360 discs and so forth, will be the case. But aside from that, and the Scarlet, but I'm not interested in it really. The kids are already on PC, and I plan on getting the Xbox Series X for myself. The Xbox Series S is a nice, notch, but I mean, unless it's going to be the wife's new, Netflix box or something like that, if we get rid of the Nathan Drake
I heard they
PS4.
were like partnering with Soulja Boy for that thing.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
nice.
Oh my god!
But for the most part, that's basically it.
I'm just busting out the fucking heard it here first tonight.
Yeah, but that's basically it. Pricing, pre-orders, a few of the services, and that's
Okay.
it.
All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and just give my predictions. Obviously, pricing is going to be big. They can't wait forever. This chess match has to be over at some point between the two. I don't think they can wait past August, honestly. I think at that point, it's going to get awkward, and people are going to start asking questions, and you don't want to have to deal with that kind of PR at this particular point in time. So I think at some point they're going to have to let us know. But I think both have more games to show. I mean, obviously, Xbox, we got more studios that we haven't seen things from. Hellblade 2, Initiative, Compulsion, a couple other studios as well that they're working on things. Sony, it's funny because Sony generally starts the generation kind of thin. It was generally first party. When I say thin, I mean first party. You don't usually get those till like 2-3 years in. That's why I think when they showed Horizon, there was no gameplay, that was all CGI. I don't think Horizon is going to be around for another at least 2 years, probably.
That's typical with Sony, though.
That's pretty typical.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just kind of the way Sony does their business and how they put out games, and it works for them. So I didn't really see. I don't know actually what else that they could show. Like, I'm thinking about the studios they have first party. And I'm like, those guys are pretty busy. Unless they're working on multiple different games, they got.
Hey, we can all buy GTA 5 again.
That's true. GTA 5 will be available for the 36,000th time in some type of.
We're gonna be playing that like in 20 years.
Can we talk about the arrogance of Rockstar Games at this point?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. They do what they want.
That's next week's topic.
Yeah, they do.
Spend an hour on it.
What's up, John Mark, coming in late, bro? You don't have to catch.
If I can.
Go ahead.
I
I'll
was
just
just say if
cutting
I
you
could
off.
ask one, what? No,
Not
I was
you.
not trying- no. I was just gonna say, who do you think will hold the crown for the most expensive console?
PlayStation.
Yep.
Ooh,
I think
so
they're
you
going to
think,
have
I
a
don't-
tie on the price on
Yeah, I
their
think-
so
disk
you think
drive and
PlayStation will be priced more?
I don't know.
No.
Their
I
high
don't.
end version, yeah, I think they will
That's what I
probably
mean. I'm
the
not
price
looking
of
about
the
like
high
low
end
end or
X
high end. I'm just saying who is going to
on the
hold that
low
crown
end.
of it.
I don't think they're. I think they're going to be about even. I think the high end is going to be about even because I don't. So I know we talk about Sony like, hey, they can't really, with them having to doing an all digital, and then the Xbox, Series S, not knowing that's probably going to be the lowest. We're assuming that's going to be the cheapest out of the 4 consoles. Kind of
Well,
puts Sony in an awkward position, but
I also think that like the game price increase should be maybe a small window of the possibility that consoles are going to go up in price.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true because that's you got to consider that too. We got to
It
look
might
at
be like a hey, things are I mean, yeah,
Everything's more expensive these days.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I know we're in a weird world situation right now, economically, pandemic wise, and stuff, but that still doesn't reduce the cost of what they're doing to build these machines.
No, good point, and that's a reality that we should be aware of because I mean it's not out of the realm of
On all
possibility.
these people on Twitter that are like, they can't make it more than $500. The fuck they can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
So this is the thing. This is the thing I say about anybody that says anything about pricing. If you asked me 5 years ago would I pay $1,300 for a cell phone, I would have smacked you in the face. I'd have been
Agreed.
like, there's no
Oh,
way
yeah.
I would do that. And everybody, that's normal now. That's a standard price. That's like
1,000
a
to 13,
price
yeah.
And
for
For a good phone, yeah.
for a
You can
good
get a
phone
flip
that we
phone for
do.
$20, right?
Exactly. So
I love it when people say they can't be more than
can't,
$500 and they just
Why
stick
not?
to that. I want to say it's more of a difficult thing to prove how they can sell something like that for $500 than it is to prove that thing's going to be more than $500.
yeah, no, I get
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if you look at what's inside that box, you're like guaranteed that thing is going to be more than $500. So you have a major uphill battle when it comes to convincing people that it can't be more than $500.
I just think that we're accustomed to that price range, and as of right now, gamers, I don't think we're ready to have that conversation about consoles realistically being a little bit more expensive going forward. I just don't think we're ready for that. Like the conscience of gamers right now, we're not ready to make that mental leap to say that can actually possibly happen. So I think that's what drives that whole they can't be anything more than 500. And obviously we've seen that, and I think people are expecting the same reaction. Like Sony did the whole $599 thing in the PS3, and that went it didn't really go well, but
That was a different economy.
it was a different economy. Like you said, like the whole cell phone comparison. There weren't cell phones back then at $1,000. So that was a little outlandish back then. But 600, 550 now.
If I can also kind of like hop in my line of work, I deal with industries that have manufacturing. Our prices are going up because these manufacturers have to provide their employees with PPE, personal protective equipment. They have to be kept safe in these factories. And I'm going to say it right now. Every single photo I've seen from factories in China, these people are covered head to toe in PPE. And these factories are not like, oh, out of the goodness of our hearts, we're just going to pay for all this and not charge the end consumer.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a tough conversation.
There's a lot of margin in that stuff, though.
Yeah. So it's not a cut and dry. Once again,
and when you don't pay your employees very much money, you got a lot of margins.
This is all speculation, everybody. We're just having fun here, but ultimately, we're just ready to see, what's coming next in the generation. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up here today, man. It's been a phenomenal show. Another week down. We just want to say quickly some shout outs here. Z Black, Zinc, Ice Cold, Matt, Dova, everybody in the chat. I saw Invader, Fork Boy. I see the Gaming Beyond the Box guys coming here and show some support. So appreciate you guys supporting Wilmy and him coming out. But we'll start with you, Wilmy. I just want to say thank you again for hanging out with us this evening, man, coming out and spending some time. Once again, everybody, all his information is in the link in the description below. Go check him out on Twitter. Go check out Gaming Beyond the Box. Great podcast there, but let everybody know what's going on with you, Wilmy.
Well, you can find me pretty much anywhere. Just type in Wilmy Hood. You can find me on Xbox, PlayStation. No longer on Stadia, though. I lied. I did cancel my Stadia. You can find me on Steam. You can find me on Epic Store, even the Switch. I don't play it very often. You can find me on YouTube at Wilmy Hood and every Wednesday night doing the Gaming Beyond the Box podcast.
Awesome.
So,
awesome.
That's about it.
Okay. All right, brother. Well, once again, I appreciate you, man. Won't be the last time you guys see Wilmy on, man. He's been on the show before, but he's always supported the show, so I definitely greatly appreciate that, brother. So you got an open invite, man. Anytime, hit me up. You know, we'll rock out here, but I appreciate you being here this weekend. Let's go ahead and move on to one of my right-hand men, Stag. Let's go ahead and get it popping with you, brother. What you been up to, man? Let everybody know what's going on with you, what you got cooking up. I know you said you made that change as far as your stream goes, so just update people on that one more time.
That was your left hand. Damn it. Quit. Man, dude. Yeah, just man, I don't know. Like I said, I've streaming less indies, doing more new releases, diving into multiplayer, played some Overwatch, and I started playing Paladins, which like I've been smashing the shit out of people on Paladins, so I'm all about that right now. I'm going to be streaming that tonight, but yeah, you can find me on Twitch Monday and Tuesday at 11 a.m. and then Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard. You can find me here on Saturdays.
Awesome, man. Once again, appreciate
when I decide not to show up, you know.
Yeah,
I won't be here next week, but
yeah. So let people know
real quick next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, like pretty much from when I wake up till late at night. I'll be streaming with the devs of Private Division and V1 Interactive. I'll be playing a lot of Disintegration, pretty much multiplayer all 3 days, doing a whole bunch of sessions. So if you have the game and you want to play some multiplayer, because I know it's not easy to find games. I think actually we might be playing on Steam. So yeah, sorry. But yeah, like if you ever want to play Disintegration multiplayer and you need help, and we can round up like 10 people because it's the community is a little bit low for multiplayer. But I will be doing that all next weekend if you want to check out the game. I possibly will have codes to give away as well. So
awesome, man. Glad to hear that that's popping off for you over there, man. Once again, go check Stag out, man. All the information below. Follow him on Twitch. Go ahead and give him some views, give him a shout out. But I appreciate your Stag here every week, man. Comedy relief for the show. He's like the life of the show, man. We appreciate you here so much. But let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Centurion, man.
Let everybody know. Of pressure. Damn.
Oh yeah, you really are, man. For real. No cap. But Centurion, it's on you, brother. I know you got the channel popping off. Got some videos coming our way, so let everybody know what's going on.
Oh yes. Well, I've only got a small little YouTube channel, nothing great like Stagger's streaming channel that
mine
hands
sucks. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, right. We're handing out codes. Oh man. Anyways, but yes, for those who are interested in just straight gaming, I love doing gaming on my channel. I plan to do a bunch of videos towards a lot of the games that were shown at not only the Xbox show, but some of the PlayStation games that have also kind of appealed to me that I want to check out. You can find that all at Centurion1307 on the YouTube channel, but you can also find me on Twitter and Xbox Live at Centurion1307. I also kick it here with you fine gentlemen every Saturday night on the Shop Podcast, and I also hang out on the TXR Podcast every Sunday night as well. Awesome, man. Appreciate you, man. Go check him out too on TXR. Shout out to those guys there. One of the OG podcasts, man. Shout out to everybody at TXR. Let's go ahead and throw this over to you, Fuzz, man. Mr. Smooth, Buttery, Barry Ross. Fuzz, man, what's going on with you? I know you got something new cooking up. Tell the people what's Fuzz got going on.
Well, on Monday, I'll probably upload a few more videos to my YouTube channel, just Fuzzy Belvedere all together on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere, PSN Fuzzy_Belvedere, Xbox Fuzzy Space Belvedere. Not playing as much Forza as of late, but still on there a good bit. But I'm gonna do some videos on Xbox versus the PlayStation show. Just my 2 cents on it and the pricing debate. I'm gonna try to go into some detail from the importing perspective that I have with the business I'm in, and then just a few more odds and ends on stuff coming up here between now and launch day and stuff for the consoles. But man, always awesome having you guys or talking to you guys about games and stuff. Glad to have you on here with me. But man, awesome show, guys.
All right, man. Last but not least, your boy PTK Blam. Hit me up on Xbox Live at PTK Blam. My information is in the link below. All Twitter information. Once again, check me out there if you want updates on the show. Hit me up if you want a game sometime as well. Appreciate you guys' continued support. Same time, same place next week. We're gonna have another guest next week as well. Trying to keep these things consistent for you guys. So once again, give me feedback on the show. Let me know anything I can improve and/or change. DMs are always open on Twitter. Message me, whatever you like to do. Xbox as well. Either way works. But once again, guys, you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Like I said, same place, same time next week. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one. We're out of here.
Later.